Good evening, it's, we can call it 7:02, 7:03-ish. On the 24th of April, this is the select board for the town of Jamaica. First order of business on any of the select board meetings is to ask if there's any additions or additions to the agenda. And as it happens, since I printed the agenda, we've added like, 3 or 4 more things. So, I have 4 things I'm going to add. Anybody else had anything they need to add to the agenda for tonight?
Did you get are we on the agenda for the
You being, we
discussion,
being.
the Jamaica Community Arts Council to discuss insurance?
No.
So we would like to add that to the.
This is a difficult one. I need to get something, something as evolved as that. I probably need to hear about it so I can put it in the.
Okay.
We
thought, someone had called, I thought Sharon had called you.
Yeah, I really, just for the record, it's so much easier if somebody send me an email, because if it's not in writing, you're relying on the memory of somebody who frankly should not be relied on. But we did get the internet in.
We did get the internet and that's.
So Friday after you and I talked, they put it in.
It's done and it's done. It's up and running, the wireless is into it, so.
Excellent. I apologize, it's just, we're gonna be here late as it is. Do you want to shoot for next week, or the next meeting?
We could shoot for the next meeting.
Okay, can you send me a little quick email?
Our issue is that we have the Arts Council coming up and
The craft show.
the craft show.
On the
And
6th.
so
On the
we're trying
6th.
to get it in under that to figure out what,
Well, we talked, the question about the insurance came up
last time,
when we did something else, but it wasn't in conjunction with what we're talking about at the time.
That's correct.
Right,
So we needed to
And we
schedule.
thought it was gonna get added to the next meeting, we would mention the month.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't,
and I did mention that, however, we were waiting for you actually to ask for it to be on the,
I apologize. It's one of those situations where if I don't get it in writing over the course of 2 weeks, I will probably forget it. And if I didn't forget it, it's because it was explosive and we probably shouldn't be doing it anyway. But I apologize for that. If you want to hang tight and we'll see how far we go, but I'm looking at a really full schedule.
My understanding, however, before you go, is that you are getting insurance for the art show, is that
We are
correct?
working on that, yes.
Okay.
We'll have it.
Because that's imperative,
Okay.
Yes, it is
There's-
imperative for us to get
that
that. We
there's
understand.
insurance for that.
I apologize for that, because that sounds like something we're going to have a discussion about.
There will be.
Yes,
Yeah, and so.
it's a discussion.
This isn't, quite honestly, if I had that in here, I could put some of the other things off.
Right.
But I kind of took them as they came in.
Right.
Nothing else? The next order of business is to approve the minutes for the April 10th Select Board meeting. They were circulated. Anybody have any additions, corrections, or deletions?
I do.
And you could tell us what that is?
Okay, on item 7 on the minutes, shall I read it? Discussion by Joel Blooming, Elaine Beckwith, and Ben Williams ensued as to helping the needy in town. Taxpayers need to decide whether they want their taxes to go to a loan program or for running expenses for the town. Should there be a separate fund, and should this be a loan program to help the needy pay for their property taxes and any other costs that are needed? Further discussion will take place. I don't think that really represents the spirit of what the discussion actually was. And I took the liberty of writing a paragraph that I would request being substituted for, which is, an item was introduced by Joel Blooming regarding the motion introduced by Ben Williams and which was passed at the March 2017 town meeting for helping needy Jamaica citizens. Judy Flower proposed that an ad hoc committee be formed to flesh out options for setting up a fund for the purpose of assisting Jamaica citizens with small loans to help with emergency expenses. Elaine Beckwith and Ben Williams contributed to the discussion that ensued. Joe Blooming will report at a future select board meeting.
The first concern I have about that is that in your first line, you said regarding a past motion. The motion was denied 28 to 44.
No, that was the motion to set aside the $38,000.
Okay, but I've read over the town.
I'm sorry, let's clarify which one you're talking about. I'm looking at where it says specifically, Ben Williams asked the select board to approve into creating an assistance fund for the poor and elderly. I think, I should have highlighted it. I think, oh, I'm sorry, here it is, I did. Elaine Beckwith moved to amend the article. And that move was denied 28 to 44. The
Okay.
next move was to accept the authorization.
To accept,
Well, the original motion was to accept the town budget authorization. Then there was a question about it, and the original motion said, shall the voters authorize the transfer of the prior year revenue, et cetera.
right,
That was then moved to amend it from Elaine Beckwith.
right.
That amendment was turned down.
Okay, and then the town defeated setting aside the $38,000, but agreed to talk about it in the future. At any rate,
They
nevertheless, we did talk about it last week, and we did talk about the possibility of going further with some kind of plan to assist the...
not a problem. That isn't an adjustment to the minutes, though.
Well, it's an adjustment to the minutes in regard to the fact that there was no discussion about whether we should have tax dollars set aside for the needy or for running expenses for the town.
I read
There was
this.
never any discussion about taking town money away from town governance.
But the amended article to put the 38,000 into a sinking fund for a low-interest loan program managed by the town for low-income homeowners to borrow for home repairs. That was the motion.
That was defeated.
That was defeated.
Right, but then we discussed the possibility of having some future study about a town program.
Sure,
But I'm
that's okay.
but I'm not objecting to what was at the town meeting. What I'm objecting to is a statement that, first of all, didn't mention setting up an ad hoc committee, which Judy mentioned, and it did not discuss whether we should use money for the needy instead of paying town expenses.
Could you repeat your last sentence, Joel? I didn't hear you. What was your last?
There was no mention at last week's meeting of using tax dollars to either pay for town expenses or for helping the needy.
I think that
This implies that we're taking money from the town coffers, depriving the town of funds, instead to help the needy. We talked about having a method for further discussion for some program about which an ad hoc committee would be established
so. Can you?
to create some program.
So your objection to 7 is that's not reflecting the ad hoc committee.
It's not reflecting the ad hoc
Could
committee,
you-
and its statement about deciding to use town funds for the needy instead of running town business is counter to what we discussed last week.
I disagree to the extent that the very concept of the 38,000 was town funds.
But we're not talking about the 38,000, it
Fine,
was
so
already defeated.
exactly, but when you said this to me, it regarded a past motion, which is.
Well, okay, then I accept that as a mistake I made, I'd have to go back and reread that.
I've got here for you if you want to.
Okay.
But before we keep going too far into this, your issue with number 7 is it does not reflect Judy's suggestion of the ad hoc. Was it Judy or you that
It
suggested
was
the ad hoc?
Judy who
Yes,
suggested.
I did.
Okay, so you'd like it to reflect that Judy recommended an ad hoc committee.
I would like to reflect that, and I would like to delete, the need to decide whether they want their taxes to go to a loan program or for running expenses for the town. I would like that taken out of the minutes, because that was not discussed.
I would suggest that the very concept, what we're talking about from the beginning, was the difference between spending tax money or creating a loan process.
But this implies depriving the town to help the needy.
Any other discussion?
Yes, what I remember is that when I suggested that it would be a committee doing that, I really felt very strongly that we on the board should not be doing the decision-making about who gets what.
Yes.
And, but I don't remember really talking about the money itself, but how that was going to be, how it would be identified, how that person was going to be identified, and who was going to do the identification.
Sure.
That's what I remember about my motion. I don't remember talking about money at all.
So-
So what if we take out taxpayers need to decide whether they want their taxes to go to a loan program for running expenses for the town. Should there be a separate fund or should be a loan program to help the needy? How about taking that one out?
Yes.
Leaving the first one in there, and then Judy with the ad hoc committee?
Yes.
Is there anything else, you think? And then we'll meet, you were gonna meet back in June to see if you got a committee, you have a committee together to kind of tell the board what was going on?
Well, we were gonna discuss it in the future, we didn't specify a time for that.
I thought it was June, I brought my notes, and I remember
I think
Paul
there was
saying at the
discussion
end
about
of
that.
June,
Yeah,
we'll come back at the end of June to see,
Maybe.
I guess to see where you are at.
Sure, but that's, we're kind of drifting off of the minutes. So you're comfortable with the change being, you want to read it back?
Okay, discussion by Joe Blooming, Elaine Beckett, and Ben Williams ensued as to helping the needy in town, and then remove taxpayers, the next whole paragraph, and then add Judy, recommended a ad hoc committee to further,
Yeah, to explore.
explore further options.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a copy of this.
Yes, that's okay
Is
with
that okay?
Yep.
Okay.
All in favor of, oh wait, before we do that, are there any other additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes of April 10th? Hearing none. All
Make a motion that we accept the minutes of April 10th
as amended.
as amended.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, they will pass. And April,
I will tell her.
yeah, April, we'll get you a copy of what this,
Yeah.
so, because it needs
I'll
to
put
be
it in, yeah.
put in there and we'll get you specifics. Thank you. Okay, so, minutes are good. The next, item in the agenda, approve the timesheets for town officers, listers, highways. We'll do that at the end of the meeting. And Town Select-Board will do that as well in the interest of time. Tonight we have two bids. We have to open the bids for the hauling disposal of the, get my letter opener out. So we need to open these. We will not make a decision tonight, but we will open them and give the select board time to review them for, make sure we're all on the same page and compare them. I will open them, I'll let you read the bottom. I don't hurt myself.
And the town letter opener.
Well, it's a budget cut. If, you get to the bottom line on that one. The first one we opened is from Triple T.
Are these all the same?
I have no one just now, but I've seen them, I'm guessing they are. This looks like a copy of that we have given.
Yeah, there's a cover letter and then I think,
Is it
the
numbered?
form that went with the RFQ. And this is the form that is filled out on the very back page.
Okay, this is gonna take some reviewing.
Yes, it will. The reason, the front page, it actually is talking about also putting in the organics solution. If you'll see that written in the second paragraph there. What had happened was originally when I sent out the RFQ, that it was March 31st and the decision concerning the organics and the Wyndham Solid Waste not doing a new organic collection didn't take place until the 13th.
Gotcha.
So consequently, this is basically the recycling piece. However, I know that Triple T has added some information here because he knew that that had happened after, or before he wrote this, obviously. And I think we're going to find out the same thing in TAM, when we open up TAMs. So that's why we really need to study this.
Yes, because there's, for those of you viewing at home, there's a lot of differences for, to haul it, pick it up, disposal prices.
Yeah, there are tipping fees
There's a
and
number of
hauling
things that are gonna
fees
have to be
and-
taken, we're gonna have
Yes.
to take some time to put this
Because there's
together.
some
So
major changes.
we cannot tonight compare
Right,
a specific amount,
right.
but we'll open them anyway.
So are we gonna hear from Bob at Wyndham Solid Waste?
He's supposed to be here, he was supposed to be here at 7 o'clock, so,
So he's gonna speak to us tonight if he can.
yes, I'm hoping, so.
Yeah, that wasn't on the agenda, because
Yeah, but it might be that something came up that he, but yes, he was
I'd love
scheduled.
to hear from
We
him before we
talked to him.
decide on any of this.
Uh-huh. Well, he's out of the picture. Wyndham Solid Waste is
No, but he
totally out of the
has,
picture.
what he said at the commission, Wyndham Regional
Oh.
Commission meeting,
Uh-huh.
that was that he would come to any town and help
Mhm.
discuss
Mhm.
ways of dealing with it, not that it would have to be through Wyndham Solid Waste.
Mhm.
Okay, this is the one I just opened from TAM,
Mhm.
and it too has a lot of different fees that
Numbers.
are gonna have to be literally go ahead,
Yeah,
go
we
line by
have to
line,
study
and to study them.
what it is.
So, we will get on that
Okay.
as soon as, we'll take a look at them
How
tomorrow.
do we set a date for when we do look at and make a decision?
Sure, we can
Because
make,
everything has to be done by July 1st, that's when we
we're
start.
running out of time. What we need to do is, we need to go over these things carefully, and then we need to suggest a meeting with the select board
Right,
to make the decision.
right. I would hate to put it off, I don't know if this is possible,
Sure.
but I'd hate to put it off for our first meeting of May. I don't know if
First
we're
meeting
able
in May
to
is in
do it.
2 weeks, isn't it?
It's the 8th.
The 8th of May?
Is that our
We
first?
we could do it just before we start the meeting,
You wanna meet,
6:30?
we wanna meet at 6:30 on the 8th?
to discuss this, right?
Yeah,
It'll take a little
And we'll
time.
take some time, it's gonna take us a while to go through all these and get
Okay.
with our treasurer to go through these things, because this
Okay.
is going to be complicated.
Yes, very complicated. So that's when we're going to do it, on the 8th?
That's our next meeting, yes.
Is that the next select board meeting? So we'll review them.
I'll get in touch with these two and tell them, because they may want to come, who knows?
Sure. All right, so let's,
It'll be at 6:30.
Okay. Do we have a copy of that for us to look at now?
oh, there's several different copies in here.
Okay, because we got a copy of this.
Yeah, you want a copy of these? It is a
It's
cover
10.
letter and a bunch of other things in it.
Okay.
I haven't separated them yet.
Do we have TAM?
Yes, this is Dan.
Okay, I would like to have a copy of TAM's
We
too.
can do that. We do that after the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're mixed in with some other stuff, so I'll have to separate it. All right, so open, award will be scheduled for 1830, May the 8th. Is that right?
Yeah.
1830 is like 6:30, I just thought it'd help you. Okay,
I do.
you and I do. Okay, before I move any further, it dawns on me, we have a new scribe, those of you who have not met her yet, April Green, she'll be taking our minutes for us. Thank you, April. Okay, the next item is, we have 2 liquor licenses that have appeared on our horizon. One is from the Three Mountain Inn, and the other one is from, and the doing business name, DBA name is 396 Vermont 30, but it's called the North Country General. Anybody from that agency here?
She's out
Just
there.
baby.
Oh, she's out with the baby, okay.
She's here.
Asking if, say again?
She's here.
Oh, hi there,
How are you?
how are you? We're just reviewing your request for liquor licenses. Everything seems to be in order. You're asking for a first class, yes?
Yes.
And all the paperwork is in order, looked over already by the people. What we need to do, and what we will do, if it's approved, is we will have one of the select board signs And then,
Bedtime.
looks like you got other things on your mind, or at least on your hip.
We wanted to,
Sure.
attempt to make it tonight. so-
Sure, no, we appreciate it a lot. Welcome to the crew.
Thank you.
You can come here anytime.
I will try.
And we will have this, we'll get it to the town clerk tomorrow.
Okay,
We'll have everything.
perfect.
So I need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the two liquor licenses, one for Three Mountain Inn, one for North Country General.
That's the name of your DBA, right? Doing business as North Country General?
That's right.
Where is that?
That's the old workhorse, right across the street.
I thought we did a liquor license for them.
That was the second class.
This is now first class.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that will be two separate.
Yeah, because you're right, I remember doing it and I was surprised, but it is a first class.
Do you have tables?
We do outside, we have the picnic tables,
But you weren't granted.
we have standing room right now, yeah. Someday.
Good.
All right.
So I have a motion to approve the two liquor licenses for the two agencies, so I have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Oh, any further discussion?
Well, I haven't really reviewed that, so
Do you want to wait?
I'd like to know what it says, but if you want, I'll abstain.
Up to you.
Okay.
Okay. Town clerk, Pam's gone through, I looked them over, I'm pretty much, Pam knows more about this than I do. Well, he's looking those over, another word that's really quick. We're required by the state of Vermont every year after the town meeting to update the local emergency operations plan. As some of you know, I also serve as the emergency management director, and so I'm in charge of bringing this up to date. The only thing that really changes from year to year is personnel. Sometimes there's some additions, some changes as far as what we're supposed to do with what we have. Pretty much everything was the same, except that we did have some personnel changes. One of them is sitting here, the other one isn't. And so I moved some names around, and basically this is what happens if something goes bad. These are the people who are contacted to run the emergency. With any luck at all, we'll never ever need to do it again. Once, for those of us who were here, was enough. So, but we need to formally approve it. If you'd like to look that over, or you're gonna take my word on it.
I'll take the
Check
word
it
for
in.
it and look it over.
Make sure.
Did Joe think the liquor
Did you already
license?
do this now?
Yeah, that's good.
So, we've had discussion, all in favor of accepting the two liquor licenses?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, pass.
Thank you all.
And I'll pass
Thank
this to Pam
Have a good
tomorrow.
night.
Okay?
Thank you.
Bye-bye, like it.
Thanks.
Okay, so we, well, we're about 4 pages in, if you want to check it out, make sure I got you right. While that's happening, you had somebody who was supposed to be coming. He's not
He's
here?
not here yet, so
Okay, so we'll
maybe,
move right on.
yeah, we'll move right on.
Okay, the next item, we have a letter from, I want to make sure that's right, Rick Giacarino, but I don't see him here. He was coming this evening to talk about naming the road and the possibility of the town taking ownership of the road.
Oh, yeah.
He was scheduled for this evening, and I recognize all the faces here, but I know your names aren't Rick.
Do you want to pass over this one?
We will pass over this one and we'll wait and see if he shows up later.
Which road, may I ask which road this?
Yeah, he was at the end of Traeger Road. There's a road that may be on the, I can't tell if it's even got a 911 address when I looked it up, but it might be No Name Road or something along those lines, colloquially. We don't know that it's a formal application. I'd also try to get a hold of our 911 coordinator. It's my understanding she's out of town. So we'll have to keep following up on that. I've had a number of emails from Rick, and he had said he was going to be here this evening, but maybe he's on his way. So we'll pass that for right now. Number 7 on the agenda is actually Joel had some interest in discussing the open meeting law.
Right.
Are you done with this?
No.
We'll save it? Okay, before we go on, then let's all decide if we're going to accept the local emergency operation plan. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the LEOP application.
Okay,
Might as well keep the team going here.
we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. One aye. Any opposed? No. Thank you. This then is adopted, and I will pass it on to the appropriate Wyndham Regional Commission and those guys. Luckily you did it, because I already dated it for tonight. Thank you. So the next issue, Joel, you'd asked to discuss the open meeting law.
Okay, so I contacted Abigail Friedman, who is at the Vermont League of Cities and Towns, and she told me that one of their attorneys, they have a program where one of their attorneys would come to the town, would allow for 2 hours consisting of an hour and 15 minutes of presentation and 45 minutes of discussion at a time of our liking. And I took a tentative time, although there's no commitment to this, of 2 hours before the June 12th meeting, but that was just to get our feet in it. The fee for that is $415.
How much?
$415. And this can be open to the public, so anybody who's interested in the open meeting law will be able to attend this.
Any thoughts from the board?
We pay dues to them, wow. I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
that's expensive.
Well, I could go by myself, in which case it would cost probably the same thing if I had to stay overnight or something. So I figured this way it would benefit the entire.
Well, I'm just wondering, I mean, we've been working with this law for a while.
Have you taken a course on the open meeting?
No, but we've learned through
Experience.
activity.
Well, this is the
Exactly.
actual
Yeah.
nuances of the law.
Mhm.
And it's supposedly a really good presentation, and the Vermont League of Cities and Towns gives very good presentations.
And I know that our lawyer has done some teaching of us when we were involved, so.
Thoughts, Lexi?
I don't know at this time, I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to weigh. How much will benefit by it? Will we benefit a lot by it? Maybe we should do it, maybe we shouldn't. I'd like a little bit more thought on this.
We could do that.
I'm not against it, but I'd like to just check into it.
Is it okay if I make a comment?
Sure.
I would definitely attend, being new to the planning commission. I personally would benefit from it, and a lot of people on the planning commission. I think,
I think all three of us would go.
Yeah.
Sure.
Several of us are new and would also benefit from it.
Okay, we can bring that into the fold. Think about that. I think the thought that I'm running through my head is, we're talking about this, is those of us who've been living with this law now for a number of years, I'm not entirely sure what is new, having read the law and read the different kinds of things. My thinking is if we had a series of questions, specific questions, that we can submit them to VLCT and get answers for free, because we're paying dues for those guys.
But also Joel's right, if each one of us went to the class, it's
where's the
about
class?
60, it's usually up north,
Probably
fairly,
not really.
Montpelier, and it's like $60 a person, so maybe it would be more
Plus, if you go into
beneficial.
Montpelier, you have to figure going overnight.
Is it a
Well, if you
two-day
drive
class?
fast, you can get back. No, you wouldn't have to stay
I
overnight.
don't think so.
I would.
I was on a board in Montpelier, and I did it in one day. I went at 5 and came home at 10.
That's great, but I would probably want to stay overnight.
So this is going to require some exploration. I think what we'd like to do is get a sense of whether or not we have some other people who are interested in it, whether it makes sense to spend the money to bring him down, open to the public helps.
I know a lot of people who would come to this besides the planning commission,
Yeah.
besides me. And I think that my short experience here indicates that we really don't know the open meeting law. We know aspects of the
There's
open
some
meeting law.
nuances.
What's that?
There's a lot, it evolves,
Oh,
it
yeah.
changes, and
Yeah.
there's
There's
some
some-
nuances
And
to
I
it
think
that I'm
it's the
sure not.
responsibility of the board to know what it is, to
Yeah.
know the specifics.
Is there any way to partner up with other towns and pay for it through several select boards?
Probably couldn't get several, but maybe we could get a couple.
Yeah,
We can check with that.
towns in Wardsboro.
It's okay with me.
You willing to call the towns and find out?
I sure would.
And you can let us know in 2 weeks what kind of results you have?
I would rather let you know sooner than that.
Okay, let me know whenever you know.
Okay.
Paul, Tom?
Would the
Yes.
school boards be involved too? Would that be something?
Anybody,
Yes, I mean,
Any school.
possibly get to make that
Yes.
village
Yeah.
school.
yes, I would see a meeting in town hall where
Yeah.
anybody who wanted to come to it could come to it. There's a lot to be learned there.
I'm interested.
So that would be something to take into consideration, add that to it, okay? Okay. Excellent. Anything else on the open meeting law? Is that what you want to do?
That's what I wanted to do.
Excellent, good, good. We had a presentation by the Town Planning Commission. I received a letter from Veda. She circulated to the, all the members of the select board, the chapter 117, oh no, the community facilities services. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And first, let me tell you, this takes a lot of work. Thank you on behalf of all of us. Because I looked through this stuff, and you guys did a great job. But that does take a lot of work. And there's a couple of things that you and I should talk about, because there's some changes since this was originally adopted. But little tiny things. Like, for example, the Jamaica School is not the evacuation center anymore. It's now the Masonic Hall.
Oh, okay, what do you do?
And well, at one time, Jamaica School was our, our shelter, and everybody evacuated the shelter. This was on page 2.
Thanks.
Now the Masonic Hall. But there's a couple other little tiny things in there. So if you and I want to get together, or I can loan you the one I marked up in red.
I also have one too, and I did find it later. It's on page 4, at the top of the page, number 8 through number 10.
Yes.
I don't know whether that is in the old town plan, but the tone of it is that it sounds like we are thinking of dropping out of the Wyndham Solid Waste Management District.
Yep.
And I question that,
Yeah.
okay?
Thank you for catching that.
Yeah, unless the district, of course, drops out of us.
Yeah, right, and
Maybe
That's
where that's going.
it might be.
So do you have, now, I marked this up specifically if you wanted a copy of this, because I know you got a funny work schedule compared to my schedule. And if you can get it back to me, you can have this, and that'll show you the little tiny things, like, again, changing the village school to the Masonic Hall. But most of this is really, really well done. You guys did a lot of work, really good. So, do you want to say some more about this? I just started this because I was really pleased with what you did.
Just, I want you guys to be involved throughout the process. And in the end, we're gonna need your approval for the whole town plan. And if we drop a document on you that's this thick, it'll be harder.
I appreciate little lights, yeah.
So I thought we'd just do a chapter at a time as we're doing it, and anytime you have any comments, if you can just email me, vedajamaica@gmail.com. Just send me an email, hey, I just saw on page whatever this change,
Okay,
and we'll put it in.
okay.
Or however
We'll
you want to get it
discuss
to
it.
me. You will, yes, we'll discuss it.
We'll just take your word for it.
Right.
I've already seen how my memory works.
Yeah, or you want to call me, you want to give me a copy, any way you'd like to give me your ideas, I will take them.
No, but you did a great job. This is
Yeah.
it's impressive.
Yeah, it requires a lot of different eyes, and, we're asking lots of people for input.
Sure. One of the things that, while the camera's pointed at you, do a commercial. For those of you, the town plan is something that seems like it's just a lot of paper.
Yes.
If you really want to know what's going on in this town,
Yes,
and historically it has gone on in this town,
yes.
the amount of work that goes into it. They're available here at the town office, you can come take a look at. Oh, look, she's got vision. Now, see, get the camera back, she's got a visual aid here. There it goes.
This is our current Jamaica Town plan. It expires this coming November, and that is why we are updating it. And it's available online at jamaicavermont.org under the Documents tab, and anybody can read it. And if anybody has any comments, please email me, vedajamaica@gmail.com. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate the huge amount of work that goes into this, as do you, I'm sure. Because you were there doing the earlier one, yeah?
Yeah, right, for that one.
Yeah.
And just to prepare you, I'm hoping to bring other sections to subsequent meetings so you can be involved along the way, so.
Just make sure you let me know when emails
Yes,
are up.
I'd like to do it again.
I do like the small bites idea.
Yeah,
That makes a huge difference. 'Cause
it's
there's
actually
never
Portland's ideas.
That was his idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, him on the back for me.
The brains here.
Okay. Excellent.
That's what impressed me too, it's been well organized.
Yeah.
You've taken pieces and kind of look at it rather than looking at, and you get so bewildered when you start to look at the whole document.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
No, you did a good job. Yeah, you guys.
We're working on it. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, well, as it happens, under the heading of public concerns, Mr. Tolbert,
Yes.
you'd like to be concerned for the part of the public.
So we can, any input you guys have too. So basically Jamaica Arts Committee, we've been, yes,
Tom Tolbert,
Tom.
give that to me, just a second.
We've been looking at insurance, and we discussed this a little bit last time for our events that we're having in town. For the big event we're having on May 6th, we've got insurance and we priced it out at $577 for the event. And as we move forward, we're looking at about $100 to $200 for each subsequent event. We've also looked at private insurance through, what's this one?
Finn and Stone.
Finn and Stone. And it came in, I'm not going to $650 for the entire series, is that what I understood? Or,
It just came in today. I believe
Okay.
that's for a year's worth of coverage. It's basic liability,
okay.
very basic.
So what we're asking is, we can, this is by far, as the Jamaica Community Arts Council, our biggest expense. And David Mink, wish he could have been here, he's out of town, wrote up, basically, we can potentially be profitable, but if the town would be willing to help us with this, it would be very helpful for us. And we talked a little bit about the towns, the League of Towns and Villages and such, and their mandate that we needed to get insurance separate from the towns, and we understand that, but it's really a huge burden for us as a small organization which doesn't have a lot of money when we're doing these events in the town and trying to bring people in the town and grow the economy here.
So the question that comes to my mind as you were speaking, do you have a business plan that eventually shows profitability, or are we winging it?
There's no profit. There's no profit.
There's no profit.
But
We are a nonprofit. We are a Vermont nonprofit,
Yeah.
so.
I don't mean profit in the sense that you guys
Yes.
are gonna retire. I'm thinking about covering all of your expenses.
I mean, we hope to do that. We hope to do that through more events. We do need to do more fundraising and try to get people to donate into our organization. Our shows last year barely broke even. We just didn't have the number of people coming to shows. This year we hope to do better. And as we do better, we'll have that money that we potentially could pay for this. But initially here, we're just trying to get off the ground, and this is really something that's really weighing and burden on our organization.
I actually have your budget here. And this is for, I guess, is it for a year or for the season?
That's, again, we've just received paperwork today and didn't have time to prepare it. That was the budget that was put out when we went, because our first event, May 6th, is the craft fair. It has 15 vendors. The insurance is 15 in the town hall. There's a lot there's a lot more insurance needed around that than at a typical concert where we have a single performer. So that's why we were paying 105 or 110 per show.
With the
This
tour.
first event now is gonna be about $677.
How much were they?
$600.
Wow.
$577 for just the one event.
Yeah.
And then, you know, subsequent events would get back down to that $100 rate. Like I say, if, I need to do some cost comparison here around this and find out, you know, is this apples to apples with what we could get for Tulip?
Yeah, tulip. right.
Yeah, and that's why I went out. And if we can say this is the same, obviously this is much less expensive. So this would be something, if we, 600 for the whole year would be much
But
more.
what are the parameters of the insurance? When
Well,
you
that's-
say basic, what is it?
So this
that
is,
you're-
says occurrence limits $1 million, the general aggregate's $2 million, the products aggregate is $2 million, personal and advertising injury limit is there's $1 million,
Is $1 million?
is $1 million, medical payments is 10,000. And there's no exclusion for personal and advertising injury, exclusion to damage to premises or rented by you, there's no insurance around that.
Yeah.
Or no exclusion around that, no exclusion of employees or volunteer workers as insurance. So we're trying, like I say, we need to sit down with Finn and Stone and really figure out how that compares to the Tulip insurance, and are we actually getting more if we're paying the $577 for the single event? Is that more than we'd be getting for the $650, or they could just get us a better rate? I don't know.
What's your timeframe? I know
The event's on the 6th, so
On the 6th.
I need to,
Setups on the 5th.
sit-ups on the 5th, and we're getting insurance for 2 days, so, because we need to set up the night before, so we're really looking at getting this resolved this week.
Yeah, I would think
I
that.
hope, like I say, I basically got this, 20 minutes before I got to here, and I haven't had a time to analyze it.
You said that's for a year?
Apparently this is,
covered?
well, I was looking at this on what it said.
And that's only 2 pages of a 13-page document.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, the fine print?
Yeah.
It just says, it just says location, it doesn't really give each, non-owned lease. So it doesn't really, it's not clear on here.
Yeah,
what
because
this
it's talking
actually
about
covers.
employees versus we're all volunteers and.
Sure.
Yeah, and if, you know, my question around this too,
something that vendors can
yeah,
Do you also need to insure the vendors that are going to be on the street, not just within the hall?
I was told no.
that's a good question.
I had asked that at one meeting, and I was told that no,
Hmm.
they had their own insurance. I had one more question on that,
Yes.
so I wasn't through. That's for a year. Now, is that for all your people that are coming in, each concert and everything? That would be for-
that's for everything.
That's for
That would be-
everything.
And that would be
That'd be a lot
great,
cheaper.
because that would be
Yeah.
really cheap, that would be
And that,
fantastic. That's why I'm a little leery to say is it apples to apples?
we have to
with
double
two-
check, because it
Right.
seemed like it was, would be, say if we wanted to do an event at the Rossonville Schoolhouse, that it would cover us
Mhm.
there, or if we did it down in the field going towards the state park or something. It sounds like it would cover us wherever our organization did something.
As an organization, and the way I read this, the way I did read this was that it says it's for 10, was this premium OP exposure, 10 people, so it looks
Yeah,
like it
one
was,
thing said employees, the other one said,
so as long as,
persons,
yeah,
something.
an organization currently is what, it's 10 people maybe, so we would cover, basically we're covering the organization then, instead of covering an event at a building, we're covering ourselves. So.
What happens to any other situation? You're protecting yourself from lawsuit by someone who gets hurt at the event, is that it?
I believe that's, yeah, I believe that is,
But I think
I know that's the
also-
tulip coverage.
because that's what the town wants, or the town's insurance company wants us to get insurance, so that if somebody trips and falls at the event, that the town won't get sued,
So this
And so
protects the
this-
town?
would cover,
Correct. They would sue us
They would-
instead of suing you. That's what this protects.
Well, not really.
No.
Well, not really.
I'll sue everybody.
I'll sue everybody, I get that.
But for that, no, so okay, so you have May 6th, then you have the next week, say you have a concert coming in.
But we, yeah,
Do they have to pay for their insurance, or that will cover it?
if we get this,
Then
and
they
that's
don't
what
have to pay.
that's what we
That's
need to
what
get
we're
into the
trying to
weeds in and say,
eliminate.
if this
Okay.
isn't truly for a year, then this would pay for all of our concerts all along
Okay.
here. And then that, of course, is much more cost effective for us.
Right, but all, just in the town hall, or she said if we decided to do something at the school or wherever?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to call him tomorrow and talk with him and figure out.
When can you get back? Okay.
So I'm not clear on what this accomplishes. So you get an insurance policy ensuring that anybody who sues you will,
Or they get hurt at an event,
I'm sorry,
they get hurt at our event,
they get hurt at your event,
and they just wanna sue somebody,
and they're gonna sue everybody. Right.
that we
But
would
who
be
does
the,
this protect? Does this protect just you? Does it protect the town? Does it link with the town's insurance?
In theory,
it's a target, I
yeah,
think,
in
for somebody.
theory, if we didn't get insurance and we rented the town hall and someone got hurt, the town is liable.
The
So
town.
this sort of supplants, it's almost like, what would they call it, supplemental insurance, I guess, that
But this
we
does-
would have insurance.
And if there's a broken step there, the town will be sued for that anyway. This doesn't protect
No,
the
not the
town
building.
from,
It does not protect the buildings,
No.
I understand that.
Would
It
this-
protects the event,
Right.
it protects what's going on at the event, so like, again, it's more of a liability umbrella over someone
Right.
gets hurt,
Right.
then they say, okay, I'm hurt, then who's gonna pay my medical bills?
Would this also cover theft or fire?
I haven't looked through that in detail.
But I guess another way to do it is that the town's insurance would cover it. Because for the historical society, are they paying insurance for the events that they have at the bank?
You would have to come under the umbrella of the town. And because of that, it's my understanding that you would need to follow the rules of setting up every time you have a meeting. You would, like we do, put an agenda out each week. Also, you would have to have an open meeting. Just the very things that we do, that's my understanding, is that if you came under our, the town's umbrella, you would have to, the open meeting law kind of thing.
So like the rec committee, for example, is
Like-
under the town, the recreation
Yeah,
committee is
right.
under the town.
And also, I think that's why the Historic Society, they would have, if they're having a meeting, they would have to put out an agenda a week ahead. And
do they do that?
I don't know if they even have meetings.
The rec committee has very few meetings.
So if
because I
they,
had
if the Historic Society has an event or a meeting at the Brand Building,
And the library
Who's
is
covered?
another group,
what covers that?
the town.
It is covered.
Yeah. And the library, I think, is, my understanding, is also under the town facility. So,
Because they have an agenda and they have
right,
minutes and stuff.
they have minutes
So
and
the
things like
Historical
that. So
Society
then
has an
that's,
agenda and minutes?
yeah, that's the major requirement.
At one point, it was my understanding that the rec committee and the historical society and the old home day has money allocated for each
That is
of these committees, but we don't.
because we're independent,
Yes.
that's why.
I think if I am right about this, that 2 years ago, there was a break in am I saying this correctly? A break of the Arts Council from,
Was
they
it,
wanted to go on their own.
was it the arts committee and then it became, and then they broke off,
Right,
took what money they had, that's when
right,
David took it over. And he made it the nonprofit that it is now, so
Yeah.
we're separate from the town.
right.
So I think another conversation to have, and probably not in this venue tonight, would be, would it be possible for us to get back under the town? Would the town be
Yeah.
interested in taking us on as a committee? And then, of course, we'd have to have open meetings and
But you can't have it both ways, so.
then we'd give up our nonprofit status and all that. That
Right.
would be actually part of the municipality. Yeah. But I think that's a bigger conversation, and I'd like David to be here for that, because I see he's spearheading much of this, so.
Yeah, there are some legal ramifications of you guys going under us versus on your own that has to be explored based on what you guys expect to do for the next years or something.
What would the cost be to the town if the town included this under
We'd
the?
have to explore VLCT.
Yeah, right,
So we'd be starting the exploration process, and that's not gonna be done in a week.
Yeah, that's not good.
right.
Can you, when can you get that put together and
I
get
would,
back to us?
I could put together, by Wednesday evening, because I could probably work on it tomorrow evening. I can't work on it tomorrow, but.
Well, the major issue right now is that you're covered for May.
We will be covered, we haven't bought anything yet.
Yeah, and I think there's also a concert that same day.
That's
so
correct, that's
you've
part of
got-
the same, it's all under the same umbrella.
Okay,
And then the following.
and that's in the following week.
So basically what you're asking tonight is you wanna make your decision predicated on whether this is a one-time big deal, $500, or a year versus $600,
Correct.
approximately numbers. Is that correct? And you need that information before you get your insurance for this upcoming event.
That's correct.
So,
If you can get us an answer by.
if you can get to us on Thursday morning,
Okay, I will do that.
are you gonna be
I
around
can
Thursday?
commit to that.
I'll be here Thursday.
What's the name of the
I'll be there
insurance
Thursday.
company?
It is,
You're available on Thursday?
Okay, so I will get that information to you. I'll go home tonight and see if I can get on Tulip. And do you have the 13 dates, things that you sent?
Yeah,
You sent me the big one?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, why don't we hear from Tom? When you can get that information, and then we can work around him.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just thinking if we were gonna meet, we're gonna have to warn it tomorrow for our 27th meeting. We can warn an emergency meeting within 24 hours.
Right.
So
And if
we
it's a
could
real
warn it.
emergency,
Well, these guys don't have insurance. It's an emergency for them.
I know, I said, but
Emergency for us.
I said it's an extra emergency,
Yeah, this is a expedited.
then it's
More
an
like
hour.
emergency.
Emergency, yeah.
Urgent.
I do understand your position, and I recognize that it makes sense to make this decision.
Mhm.
But if it's an emergency where they have to have the answer right away, you don't have to,
No,
Timeframe.
yeah, if there was somebody bleeding or
It's-
something,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
That's
fine.
So
So
I will
if I
have
have
information, to you Thursday morning. I will email you.
Okay.
Does that work? I'll get your email after the meeting.
Yeah, send me an email on the 27th, and are you available on the 27th, Thursday?
Thursday?
How about 1 o'clock, like in the afternoon, give him time to get all that stuff to me. Plus, we gotta review it.
I think so.
Could you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
When you send it out, can you send it to all of us?
Of course. I need all your emails. but
That's
I'm
When
done.
you send it, and then you send it to us.
Yeah, okay, send it to me, and I'll just forward it to the whole board.
Yeah, well, I can.
That's-
And then we'll get it spread out as fast as we can, and then we could meet like at 1 or 1:30. Is you available, Joel? Yeah. Are you available?
Mhm.
So we'll tentatively set up an emergency meeting to discuss this issue only
Okay.
at
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock on the 27th.
Is any of you guys available, any of you available to, I cannot come, I can't come to time. I could,
Is David gonna be back? with me?
David's not gonna be back until
Next month.
middle of May.
Yeah, it would help to have somebody from you guys to join us, to defend your position against our confusion.
Okay,
Just somebody will be here, doesn't matter.
I'll see. And
This
could I call in? Would
Yeah.
that be possible? Could I call in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I could call in, I
We
potentially.
got speakerphones, we have the technology.
We don't.
I hope so. Thursday at 1.
You have the number upstairs? It's,
I could do that, yeah.
okay.
I can-
I think you called me and said.
Or do you wanna make it later after you
No,
work?
no,
I mean, we can do that too, that's no problem.
Yeah, I can do one, I can make it
You sure? I mean, because you're working, we're
work. I
not.
know, I can make it work.
We'll accommodate you.
Okay, I can make it work at 1. It's not a- But I call him, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys don't have much money to play with.
We have money to play, Monopoly.
This one has a budget.
I got another check for $15.
Good, thank you.
Okay, so we're leaving it as Tom's gonna do the research on the new information, get us the results to us emailed
Yes.
on Thursday morning, and we will meet as a team. You guys will get to the emails, but we'll meet as a team at 1 o'clock to discuss it. And hopefully somebody from your illustrious community can come and defend it.
Okay,
Sound fair?
sounds fair. Thank you for considering.
Excellent.
Yeah, basically where I'm at is that I really like the town hall being used. And this is gonna be great with the fair coming up. and it's gonna put us on the map. And for our economics, anyway, we need to really start having some things happening within the town, because we're losing different businesses, so it would be.
We just have to make sure this makes sense.
Yes.
Because we also have
Right.
to check with our treasurer to make sure that we're
Yeah,
having something.
we understand.
Right, and that we both come out winners in this.
I think in general, what she's trying to say, she can say for herself, but what I'd like to echo, we really appreciate the energy you guys are putting
Yeah.
into the major project
Right.
and getting that stuff going. And I think, I'm speaking for me, but I guess the other board can chime in if they want. Yeah, the town really appreciates what you're doing, and we'd certainly like to be as much help as we can.
Okay.
We're certainly not gonna stand in anybody's way, as long as we're not breaking the rules somehow.
Thank you.
Very good. So we'll meet again. Excellent. Okay. Are there any other public concerns? We have lots of public today. All these unconcerned folk.
Yeah, I don't
We're all
want-
concerned
not
about the same things.
That's good. That's good. That minimizes our time. We can all concentrate on this little.
I don't know what happened to our speaker tonight, so.
Well, exactly. Okay, not a problem. It worked out for these guys.
Yeah, we're happy.
So,
Can I make a comment on that?
Sure.
On that, sorry, I apologize.
That's it.
The way I see it is if you guys help them out now and they like do really well this year, they won't be back next year for asking for that help.
Yeah, but we don't see their faces unless they're coming for money. This is operating in the dark. Okay, if there are no other, time for other public concerns, you had a request.
For an executive session,
Okay, you need to give us enough idea what exactly we have to do in an executive session. for.
personnel matter, personnel matter.
Personnel matter.
Okay, this is what it has to say.
Yep.
oh, yes,
Yeah, did you see this?
speaking
Good.
of
Nice scribbly there.
open meeting law.
What, you need to add a piece of, you just have to tell us, just
The first
time a little bit of it.
This one and that one, let's say this, that, and that. You're not to say names or anything, it's just what it is.
While we're doing
I
this,
don't know what she said.
yeah, it's-
Go on to two.
thank you all for coming.
Well,
It's been a lot of fun.
thank you.
Much more fun on now by ourselves.
Can I get your guys' emails before you jump in?
Just send it to me and I'll disperse it.
What's your email?
Oh, where's your crew? Want to put it on here someplace?
Start on there and I'll.
I
I work at SIT, I work down in Brattleboro. Yeah, I do IT.
You teach at SIT?
No,
I don't teach, I do IT for SIT, so I do.
it shouldn't take long.
Executive director of information.
It seems like it's gonna take a long time, if we're not gonna come back with it.
We are still, yes. Hurry.
Thank you all. And thank you.
Yep. Okay, all right, so, ladies and gentlemen, we are, excuse me, hello. My children. Sir.
I make a motion that the board finds that general public knowledge will place the municipality or person involved at a substantial disadvantage if the matters are discussed in public.
Let's get you a copy then.
This too?
Yes, where my handwritten stuff about.
Title I, Section 313A, parens 1, parens capital A of the Vermont, what is this?
Statutes.
Statutes, vote.
Okay, and then you have to read the second one.
Up here?
Yep.
When a request to enter into executive session for the purpose of personnel matter, you must follow the wording below.
I think we've done it.
Okay, I think that's it. I think that's too many things.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to go into executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
Just for those of you keeping track at home,
All night.
Andy did in fact call in. We knew he wasn't living here tonight, he's not feeling well.
He's a sick guy.
So we have a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, we will go into executive session. I recommend about a 5-minute recess just to be able to get everybody out of here, nothing personal.
Thanks.
Will you have any decision?
So,
That's a good question.
one for this and the other, I'll try to make sure it's out.
Yes.
I just have
We'll have to go
to
back. Sorry about that. executive session. Would someone like to propose I don't even think we need a motion for this, do we?
To close the meeting.
To close the meeting, just to
That's it.
adjourn.
Just to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Joe.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned at, let's call it 8:26.
8:27.